What's up, good people? It's your boy Hoom Boom back with another segment of the Hold Up Show. And hold up, did we have it wrong about Suge Knight? Today we're going to be reviewing a clip or clips of Suge Knight exposing the Cabal. Lately, Suge Knight has been on a tear as far as on intimate conversations with Suge Knights on Breakbeat Media is where he started to resurface. Um, he did an interview with Michael Francis, which is one of the clips we're going to review, and he also was on with Chris Como, which is another clip that we are going to review. But lately, Suge has been letting it fly as far as exposing individuals that was around him that became Cabal members allegedly, or that played roles or had a hand in some of music and hip hop's horrible tragedies that we know of. And I just want to just go into some of the things that he's recently said. I mean, I know I can't go into all of them. I don't want my channel to be flagged or my video to be flagged or taken down, because I want you guys to, you know, see what I'm seeing when we're hearing individuals like a Suge Knight speak, regardless of what you think of them, of an individual, especially one that has been as successful as he was. You still got to respect and know that they are full of a wealth of knowledge, and he's been ready to share what he's been going through. So let's get into it. Hold up.
And that did happen with
We
Puffy.
wouldn't be having, yeah, 1,000%.
You think Obama had anything to do with any of these parties that he had?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You got presidents, you got preachers. T.D. Jakes is one of the biggest black preachers around that everybody loves. Everybody in prison, if they try to get the word of religion, they're not going to the chapel somewhere. They're turning to watch T.D. Jakes. He had to resign from his whole community.
That's right.
You talking about the top of the top.
Unbelievable.
Of the top.
Man, I mean, I got a lot of questions with this guy, but you answered the first one. How do you get away with something like this for all this time with all these people that are allegedly involved? I want to tell you this.
So this is Suge speaking with Michael Francis. They're going over some of the Diddy allegations, and it also seems like he's going to ask him about any politicians or presidents or any other high profile figures that he might know of doing some nefarious things, or that may allegedly be tied to some of these inappropriate freak offs that Diddy was having. So yeah, let's continue.
I was in the same tier, the same cell that Epstein was on. And Suge, there's no way in hell that guy could have committed suicide on that tier. I was in there for 7 months. There's no way.
And coming from you, I know you didn't know the truth. And I personally didn't think he was going to commit suicide. But the thing is, he had from Oprah Winfrey to everybody on that island. Anybody with.
See how he specifically named Oprah Winfrey, because he may have knowledge that she's been to that island, right? He didn't say allegedly. He didn't say any of that, right? Because it was sort of a known thing amongst those circles that certain people dealt with Jeffrey Epstein in intimate environments and things of that nature. And look, he's been dead for how long? Well, allegedly dead for how long? And we still don't know this information that's supposedly dropping any moment now, but still hasn't dropped. So
With a weird fetish, and that's what underage kids was on that island, and everybody knew it. So it's not like a
see, that's a big statement right there. So he's basically saying if you went to Epstein Island, you had a weird fetish that you wanted to allegedly touch underage kids, and among other things, because we've heard of how they've, adrenochrome and all that, and how they have to extract that to get that particular compound or chemical formula, right? And he's basically saying everybody knew it, right? So who's everybody? Everybody that is in those elitist circles or that is close enough to the elitist circles to know what they're into.
It's a situation where all of a sudden, maybe there's been a talk. And you know as well as I know, like you've been on the same tier as him, he probably was going to tell it all. He up himself, you know?
No doubt. No doubt in my mind at all.
They made sure he didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way he could have done it. You know, first of all, they're watching all the time. There's cameras, and just so happens that one particular time there's no cameras and no one monitoring that. I had eyes on me 24/7 when I was there. So, I mean, I knew it was impossible.
Always.
Yeah.
You didn't have that one time to yourself.
Nothing
You're
at all.
always watching yourself.
So,
Always. Always. No.
So yeah, that's Suge speaking on Jeffrey Epstein's cell and him and Michael Francis, saying how there's no way that two CEOs just fall asleep on a tier, and he has access to all these jail uniforms to do some type of fixture to hang himself 2 or 3 feet off the ground on the edge of a bed. So yeah, like, I mean, we all know it didn't sound right to us when we heard it. We felt as though someone was sent in there to handle that because of the amount of secrets and things and just power that he held of blackmail over these individuals. And they probably were in fear that he was going to spill it to save himself. Or it was some type of covert mission for the quote unquote white hats to get in there, get him out, and put him in a situation where that the other side believed he was dead while they extract all the information out of him that they could to take down his co-conspirators as well as anyone else who may be involved that is not visibly on their radar. So let's get into this other clip of him on News Nation with Chris Como and see what he's talking about there.
Okay, good. Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby. He used to work for Interscope. This guy's job was to bring underage girls and girls and have sex with employees and other artists. To the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing. How they raided Puppy House for sex trafficking, they raided his friend house for sex trafficking.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He never was an artist.
Sure. Can you say something? Can you say
When
something
you really
positive?
look at the whole situation,
Because you only got.
I mean, everything I'm saying is positive. And I got to hand him a call right back.
All right, Suge, you call back. Do you think?
Like that.
Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality, to time, versus what people would do to keep him quiet.
So yeah, we know that Puffy is, or Diddy is in a similar Epstein type situation. But does he have the blackmail power over the type of high profile individuals in the government and in entertainment that Epstein had? I believe so. So that, you know, potentially puts him in that same arena, but with all the eyes and all the coverage on this, I would think it would be kind of hard to Epstein Diddy, but it's not off the table.
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI and most of his career. Shit, he got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he.
So right there, like when I was explaining how no matter what you feel about a person, especially a person who was or is extremely successful, they are still a wealth of knowledge and still worth paying attention to, right? So like he said, Puffy's been involved with the feds for a long time now, right? He has possible political moves and strings that he could pull to, you know, try to help in this situation, right? But it's just gonna get it's just gonna get too crazy. It's gonna get too crazy. There's no way or no government official that will jump in at this moment to try to save or, you know, help out Diddy in this situation right now, because look around. Trump is cleaning house on all these three-letter agencies. So whoever was his contact that may have been helping or may have been, you know, getting rid of some things he might have been involved with, you know what I'm saying, cleaning up some of his actions, is probably on the chopping block or under investigation or surveillance themselves. So it's no way that they're going to reveal their allegiance to a Diddy, especially under these circumstances.
He gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. My artist, one of the worst mistakes I could have made was protecting my artist is doing a deal in Interscope. When my artist used to pull up in valet, the Murdoch building, they'd get out, they'd smell like weed. When they clothes smell like weed. When they made it to any office, it would smell like weed. Those guys, for my artists, they introduced cocaine to my artists. So once they got on cocaine, once they got on drugs, once they got on alcohol, and that's when the weird stuff happened. And I think that's what took Puffy down that lane. Then you got to remember, Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell.
Simon, come
You better
on.
believe it. Alcohol, drugs. He compromised his manhood. Because he was taught that. He got Usher as a kid.
So some of the rumblings and things and rumors we've heard throughout the years involving Diddy and his immediate circle and others that he was influential in their career, Suge is letting it fly, man. He's telling it like it's truth, law. It's known. It ain't like anyone's going to sue him for what he has to say, but he is on a big platform, and yeah, there is no alleged in his voice. There is no alleged in his speech or in his words. He is telling you, hey, he learned this from his mentors, allegedly Andre Harrell, allegedly this person, that person, and they told him how to get him on drugs and get him in compromising situations. And you know, so when we all know and heard of predators and their actions, someone had to teach them, right? They had to have some type of predator mentor or something, right? This isn't just behavior you come out the womb with. This is learnt behavior, right? This is through experiences and things you've seen, and then you decided to continue to operate in that manner, right? And he's exposing them. He's letting the world know, like, hey, this is what he was into, and this is how he was getting down.
They never recorded no songs, but alcohol, drugs, sex. Justin Bieber. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they're doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
So there you have it. That was a clip of Suge Knight on Chris Cuomo. Right? So
okay, good.
I'm pretty sure he could go into more detail. He could go into a few things. As you seen on one of my rare videos of Suge and Pac together, just their conversation amongst each other of exposing individuals that do not follow the morals and codes that they do. They have no problems putting them out there, right? So then, those are just not the only claims that Suge has been talking about lately, right? He's also saying that, he's also insinuating that Snoop is trying to bail out Keefe D because of fear of what he might expose, right? So that just turns Tupac's situation into a whole nother direction, because I don't think really any normal people that's not fully immersed in hip hop had any idea that Snoop possibly could have been involved in this. I mean, we all thought it was strange that he wasn't in Vegas. We all didn't know, you know, in real live time that they were beefing, because there was no social media and the information didn't fly the way it's flying nowadays. Like, soon as something happens, it's posted within 2 or 3 minutes, as opposed to back then we had to wait for the Source, XXL, Vibe, or somebody to publish their magazine and tell us the rumors or tell us incidents that have happened within the month. And if something just happened the day that the magazine got issued, we're not going to know the details or anything about it until the next month, or unless someone gets on the radio and just starts spazzing out during those times, because radio was a very powerful tool at that time, because the internet wasn't being utilized the way it's being utilized now. And yeah, so just to find out these things that Snoop possibly, allegedly, could have had a hand in the demise or the quote unquote conspiracy to take out Tupac Shakur in Vegas that day. So that's not all that Suge had to say, right? Suge also said that Ray J told him that Snoop admitted involvement, right? And if you were not in the know, you would not know that Snoop, Brandy, and Ray J are cousins, right? And Ray J allegedly is affiliated or closely tied to a particular gang or gangs side in LA, right? I don't know for sure, but this is just alleged things that's been, discussed and said. I believe Suge might have said it, or if not Suge, Reggie Wright allegedly may have said it. But it's been said, right? And that is on the opposite side of whatever affiliations that Snoop may have, right? But they're family. They are related. They are cousins, right? So for Suge to kind of throw Ray J under the bus, like, hey, like, this guy, his cousin told him that he was involved. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it just gets crazier. So then, right, he also says, Suge, that Ray J was possibly involved and sent by the Cabal or whoever to with Whitney Houston's passing, right? And this is quoted by Suge, like, why that Whitney said to him or said amongst him, like, why is Brandy's little brother bringing me drugs? Why is Brandy's little brother doing the drugs with me, kissing all up on me, trying to, you know what I mean? And we remember, I mean, if you were around at that time, we do remember there was some stint of something that allegedly Ray J was messing with Whitney Houston in her, mature woman stage of her life, and everyone was with an eyebrow raised. It was a head scratcher. Like, what's Ray J, the money got that low that you want to trick off on, so it was all very strange to us. It was all very strange, and it was, you know what I mean? But that's not all he had to say, right? He also explained an evening of attending dinner with Quincy Jones and Kidada Jones, and basically outed Quincy Jones as, or allegedly insinuated that he wanted Pac to sleep in the bed with him. Like, I'm going to send my daughter home and you're going to stay here with me and sleep in the bed with me. And whatever happens, and you'll be the Fresh Prince of Oakland. Yes, like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it was some wild stuff being exposed, and you can't help but listen. Like, you can't help but try to see the truth in the matter. That, do we got it wrong about Suge? Was he targeted by the Cabal because he couldn't be controlled? He wasn't a part of the program, and he didn't have any problems exposing the program. Like, if we all remember, before after Pac was killed and they were trying to get Suge for parole violation, excuse me, because I guess he was also a target that night that didn't get eliminated, allegedly. So they had a backup plan to send him to jail and neutralize him and you know, once he's in jail, you know, it's hard to oversee a multi-million-dollar, close to on its probably way on its way at that time to being $1 billion company, even in its downfall, just off the catalog and the things and how they were operating in the use of the catalog, right? Because the catalog is still making millions to this day, right? We we looked at that situation like they're trying to get the big bad bully off the streets, right? He got everybody shook. But we might have been looking at it from the wrong angle. He might have been the ultimate threat of them keeping control of the hip hop industry with a certain mogul that does not want to play by those rules, or play in the same realm that allegedly Diddy and allegedly Sean Carter and allegedly Dr. Dre and allegedly Snoop Dogg wanted to play in and had no problems conforming or getting down. You know what I mean? So it was probably a request of them. You know, y'all got to get rid of these knuckleheads. Y'all got to get rid of the Pox. Y'all got to get rid of the Suge. Y'all got to get rid of anybody that's a threat to what we're trying to put down here. You know, so that's what I'm seeing. You know, so did we have it wrong about Suge? Was he fighting for the righteous? He just went about it in an overly aggressive way. So through the aggression that he displayed and that West Coast vibe that he gave of his morals and character, was we missing what he was actually trying to put down? Were we missing what he was actually trying to show us of how to be solid and get it this way? Or are these people ain't who you think they are? That's why I'm handling them the way I'm handling them. So I want to know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Do we got it wrong about Suge, given the recent interviews and revelations he's bringing to the table? It's your boy Homeborn. It's another segment of the Hold Up Show. Peace.